To help you with the setup for your trading cards. So first thing we want to do is make sure you're using 2 pages, landscape orientation. Since the card is 3.5 inches tall by 2.5 inches wide, you're going to have a little extra space on the top in comparison with the left and right margins. So the top and bottom should be 7.5 margins, and the left and right should be 0.5 margins. And that should give you just enough space to fit your cards into. You can also change this to 4 columns and put your gutter at 0 to split down the columns for the cards. So it should look like this. We'll put it in half, so 4.25, and so now you have the space for your 8 cards. It's important to remember that you don't want to go to the edge of these lines with text or images because they may get chopped off when you go to cut. So when you place, for instance, a picture in here, let's say I'm putting a picture into this space. I'll just pick any random photo. Sure. Okay. This photo, you don't want to go edge to edge, because let's say I have 2 now and I go to cut this. If I don't cut this perfectly, I got part of this photo on this image. So what most trading cards do is you leave a little bit of space. So you make it a little bit smaller, so you also form somewhat of a border around the edges. So you have your image, maybe you put the name down here, but you want to leave some space around the sides. What you can do to kind of fill in the space, instead of just leaving a white border, you can put a pattern. So let's say I wanted to put a pattern in. I'm going to put a pattern like this. Okay. Now, a lot of people would come in here and just make their pattern exactly the size that they need it to be. Fit it to the frame and leave it like that. Problem with this is, again, you go to cut and you don't cut it perfectly, you're left with a little white sliver there. So we want to bleed it past the cut line just a touch. So make sure that your pattern is extending past this cut line so that when we cut it, we know we got color all the way to the edge. You can do things like add a white border. I think that may look good in this situation. Okay. Maybe you want to do names, but you want all the names to appear over a different colored background. You can add a new color background here. Actually, gray might be kind of cool. And again, I'm leaving room for the cut line. Maybe the names will go here. If you center it and make sure your font is the size you want it to be, this width can be the exact width of the card, and then you know the name is right in the middle of the page or where you want it to go. Probably want to get the font set to what you want it to be and the size you need it to be, and then this can be copied over and over to the next line and the next picture, and you can change those out and you still have the same settings. The key thing to remember is that when I'm making name 1 here, when I go to the next page and I want to lay out the back of name 1, a lot of people think that you would put the back of name 1 in the same spot. So name 1's information would go right here. That's not really correct. Name 1 would actually go over here, because that page is getting flipped over and turned around. So when it's flipped over, the information for name 1 is going to be on the opposite side of the page. So you got to reverse everything